in 2022, a company called as Pop Mart did something unbelievable. It all starts with a single photograph.
So normally I just, get the whole set.
Lisa from Blackpink attached a small monster keychain named Labubu to her handbag. And within 7 days, Labubu sales exploded across Asia. And would you believe? One collector even paid $170,000 for just one figure at an auction. Soon, celebrities like Rihanna and David Beckham were carrying them everywhere. Pop Mart was making $5.5 billion a year, and it seemed like an overnight success. At its peak, this one company was worth more than Hasbro, Barbie's parent company Mattel, and Hello Kitty combined. Then, in just 12 weeks, everything flipped. A video went viral on TikTok claiming Labubu was actually modeled after an ancient evil demon, and some even started burying their $300 toys in sea salt to drive away bad luck. Others rushed to sell them online as fast as possible. Now, most big companies would just ignore a silly internet rumor. But Pop Mart reacted exactly the opposite. They started panicking. Even though nothing was broken or defective, they actually stopped new shipments, started giving refunds, and launched an internal investigation. A simple ghost story literally paused a multi-billion-dollar supply chain. To most people, this just looks like a weird internet moment. But if you look at the business behind it, you see something much bigger. You see an exact blueprint of how modern hype is created and how it gets destroyed. In this video, we are going to break down the full Labubu story. You will learn how companies manufacture hype, how to spot the early warning signs of a crashing product, and how to know when to bet on a trend and when to run away. Whenever you see a product blow up out of nowhere, your brain just assumes that it was just luck. But let me tell you, a celebrity post is just a spark. But a spark does nothing if you haven't built an engine to catch the fire. To understand how Labubu took over the world, we have to look at the engine. Before 2024, Labubu was basically a nobody. It didn't come from a massive corporate lab. It was just a strange little drawing in a children's book. A forest monster with 9 teeth and a creepy smile. For years, nobody really cared. The real story starts with a struggling store in Beijing called Pop Mart. For years, the founder was selling random stuff: phone cases, cheap cosmetics, and some basic gadgets. The business was going absolutely nowhere. But the founder noticed one tiny section of his store kept selling out. It was a shelf of small, collectible toy figures. So he understood that it was time to drop the phone cases and the makeup, and go all in on these collectible figures. But he didn't just sell toys like a normal store. He changed the psychology of how people buy them. And this brings us to the first rule: when a company isn't selling a product, they are selling a thrill. Pop Mart introduced the blind box. You walk into a store and pay $20 for a small box, but the box is completely sealed. You have no idea which character you are actually buying until you rip it open. And you know why I think that this model is absolutely genius? Because in every series, there are regular figures, and there is one ultra-rare secret edition, which means that you have exactly a 1 in 72 chance of finding it. You need to remember that number, 1 in 72. Because that single rule is the foundation of a multi-billion-dollar empire. Pop Mart wasn't selling toys anymore. They were selling a legal lottery ticket to teenagers and adults. In 2019, Pop Mart bought the rights to the Labubu character and put it into these blind boxes. For 4 years, it did fine. It was just one of many characters on the shelf. But then, Pop Mart made a tiny design change. They turned the plastic toy into a fluffy plush keychain. 6 months later, sales for Labubu shot up over 700%. We usually see that the internet trends go on for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or a maximum of 4 weeks. But the Labubu hype didn't die in 4 weeks. It ran for 2 straight years, spread across the globe, and literally rebuilt an entire company. To keep people buying a $20 keychain month after month, Pop Mart had to do something that is highly regulated in the stock market, but completely legal in retail. They turned a piece of plush into a financial asset. Now let's understand the psychological concept called variable reward. When you don't know what you are going to get, your brain releases way more dopamine than if you just bought the exact thing you wanted. It is the exact same psychological trick used in casino slot machines. And this is why the 1 in 72 chance of getting a secret edition Labubu doll matters. Because when you open a box and get a character you already have, you don't feel like you just wasted $20. Your brain tricks you into thinking you are just one box closer to the jackpot. Because of this, people didn't just buy one toy. They filmed themselves opening 10, 20, or 50 boxes in a row, desperate to find the rare secret figure. So Pop Mart wasn't making millions by selling the dolls. Other people were making millions for them by posting the videos. And those unboxing videos went viral. But to make this trend truly explode, Pop Mart had to execute the second rule of creating a mega trend. They had to make spending money feel like making money. They deliberately starved the market. They made sure there were never enough toys to go around. Store shelves were constantly empty. Online drops sold out in seconds. Because real customers couldn't find them in stores, a massive resale market blew up. Suddenly, a $30 Labubu was trading for $300 online. The super rare editions were being sold at a 2000% markup. It was making the product feel like a hard asset. Think about it. When your friend tells you the toy she just bought for $30 is now worth $300, buying a Labubu stops feeling like a silly purchase. It suddenly feels like a really smart financial move. People were throwing money at Pop Mart because they felt like they mathematically could not lose money. More than half the people who bought a Labubu went back and bought another one. Meanwhile, the Forever Stone, the one sold as an investment, loses up to 80% of its value the moment you try to sell it back. The entire architecture is genius. The blind box turns shopping into a game. The secret editions turn one purchase into 10. The empty shelves turn normal customers into hunters. And the crazy resale prices turn a cheap toy into a high-yield investment. This exact machine is why a drawing from a children's book made $2 billion in a single year. And this machine is also the exact reason why everything collapsed.
So the whole psychological machine was only resting on one fragile condition, and that was scarcity. Through 2025, that scarcity was driving people insane. Fights literally broke out in stores in the UK, getting so bad that Pop Mart had to pull the toys off physical shelves and only sell them online. The situation was so worse that real everyday customers couldn't even buy the toy anymore because scalpers with computer bots were clearing out the stores instantly. Inside the Pop Mart boardroom, this looked like a massive problem. Millions of people wanted to give them money but couldn't get the product. Every single business school on the planet teaches you the exact same solution for this. If demand is exploding, you make more product. And this brings us to the third rule of a mega trend, and the fatal mistake that destroyed their golden goose. In early 2024, Pop Mart was making about 300,000 plush toys a month. By late 2025, they were pumping out 30 million a month. In under 2 years, they multiplied their production by 100. Buying a Labubu was like buying a concert ticket. Fans overpay scalpers because a stadium physically cannot add more seats, but a factory can. So why let the scalpers keep all that extra cash when the factory could just make more toys for the real fans? But Pop Mart forgot the core secret of their own success. Nobody was paying $300 for a piece of plush. They were paying $300 for a status symbol that was incredibly hard to get. The moment Pop Mart flooded the market, resale prices collapsed in half. And the second a Labubu cost less online than it did in a real store, the whole illusion of it being a financial asset died instantly. The massive popularity created an ocean of fakes. Counterfeits, nicknamed Lafufus, flooded online marketplaces. At one point, fakes made up 40% of all listings. When your product's entire value is built on status and authenticity, a flood of cheap fakes is absolute poison to your brand. But here is the most dangerous trap for anyone trying to invest in a trend. The financial spreadsheets will always lie to you right before the crash. Even as the resale market was completely dying in late 2025, Pop Mart's revenue actually jumped, but those numbers were basically a mirage. Pop Mart was just shipping massive amounts of toys to store shelves faster than the consumer desire was dying out. By March of 2026, Pop Mart published their best financial results in history.
revenue was up by a massive 185%. And on that exact same day, their stock price dropped 22%. Everyone could see that the real engine, the scarcity and the hype, was already dead. Since the peak last summer, the stock has lost more than half of its value. Now, to be totally clear, Pop Mart is not going bankrupt. They still make billions of dollars in revenue. But they are now just a normal, profitable toy company that completely lost its magic.
For 30 years, China had one main job in the global economy: make things as cheap as possible. Western companies did the design, China did the manufacturing, and American or European brands took all the profit. Labubu broke that deal. This was a Chinese company selling a Chinese character at full luxury prices to people in New York and Paris. Pop Mart wasn't competing on low prices. They hit a 72% profit margin. That is Louis Vuitton territory. Now Pop Mart is trying to pull off the ultimate pivot. They are copying Disney. But nobody has ever proven that you can build an empire out of a speculative hype cycle toy once you've already destroyed the scarcity that made people want it in the first place. A hype engine gives you insane short-term margins, but it collapses the moment you oversupply it. A true legacy brand builds deep emotional storytelling first, and scarcity second. If you want to understand how these global engines work so you can make smarter moves in business and investing, hit that subscribe button right now. And tell me in the comments, do you think Pop Mart can actually build the next Disney? Or was Labubu just a one-hit wonder?